When we think of brutal knockouts, it's natural for the first fighter that comes to mind to be Mike Tyson, but the protagonist of this countdown is a boxer who managed to impress Iron Mike himself with the violence emanating every time he stepped into the ring. Welcome. In today's video, we'll relive 3 of David Tua's most brutal knockouts, a fighter who had a habit of leaving his opponents unconscious, sprawled on the canvas. Get ready because the massacre begins here. David Tua, often referred to as the Chain Beast, was a true war machine in the ring, a storm of fury and destruction that took everyone's breath away in his wake. His Samoan roots and New Zealand blood made him a unique monster in the heavyweight category. It seemed like he was born to destroy his opponents, with punches that felt like a blow from Thor's own hammer. He entered the ring for the first time in 1992, and from that moment, he earned the nickname the Executioner of Boxing. His fists from his debut were an undeniable weapon of mass destruction capable of bringing hell to earth inside the ring, leaving no soul unbroken in his path.
Ortega, and another left, and it knocks him in. Good left, rocks him again for another.
Those who witnessed his fights live were often shaken by the brutality of his strength. It didn't take long for his opponents, just seeing him step into the ring, to enter a state of shock and terror. Despite not winning the belt in his bout with Lennox Lewis in the year 2000, Tua had already left an indelible mark on the history of the sport with the severity of his punches. The world already knew what he was capable of, as he had instilled fear and respect in the minds of all who followed him, a mark that would endure forever. As evidence of this, we have made a careful selection of knockouts where, in some cases, his opponents were fortunate enough to escape his formidable fists, while in others, even lying on the canvas, the massacre continued. On April 13, 2002, Tua's power would be confirmed as he entered the ring at the Mountaineer Casino Racetrack and Resort in Chester, West Virginia, to face Ruiz Oquendo. Oquendo had already won the heavyweight title of the North American Boxing Federation and was in his first defense. Unfortunately for him, he would encounter a ring monster that would shorten his reign unimaginably. The presence of Gary Wolfe, Paul Artist, and Bruce Foster, judges of the contest, was merely a formality because Tua did not intend to leave his victory to the luck of perspectives. He would force Cranston David Johnson, the referee appointed for the contest, to deny the safety count to his opponent. As soon as the opening bell rang, Tua surprised Oquendo with an unexpected left hook that promised an epic battle for the rest. As the minutes passed, Tua demonstrated why he was a titan in the ring. His hooks and haymakers, saturated with dynamite, exploded on Oquendo's body as a prelude to the harsh end of the fight.
Busier than he did against Lennox Lewis. Misses with a wild combination, but he is looking like...
Tua not only shared stature and technique with the legend, Iron Mike, but his punch, capable of shaking his opponent's brains, was equally destructive as Tyson's, and he didn't hesitate to use it at every opportunity.
Movement. Do it, Lennox Lewis. Nice shotgun jab. Big combination by David Tua of utilizing this entire 18-foot ring. Now bit. Big right hand just missed.
By the 9th round, keeping Oquendo against the ropes, Tua would initiate a massacre disguised in his powerful offensive with a left blow from which there would be no return for the then champion.
Right hand by Tua. Left hook by Tua wobbled him. Oquendo says he's not hurt. He gets hit with a big one. Oquendo in some trouble. Right hand. Just missed with a left hook. Right hand by Tua. Left hook by Tua.
Oquendo, cornered and trying everything possible to escape, received a violent barrage of punches, rendering him completely unable to defend himself. Powerful lefts and unsettling right blows made Johnson intervene in the brutal scene, immediately declaring Tua the winner of the contest. With Oquendo as a witness, it was reaffirmed that every blow from Tua was an exclamation of pure New Zealand power. And precisely to New Zealand we must travel if we want to continue with the countdown. Since on October 3, 2009, in the ring of the Mystery Creek Events Center in Hamilton, David Tua would face Shane Cameron, a compatriot against whom he would have no sympathy once they crossed the limits of the ring. The winner of the battle would hold the titles of Asia Pacific and Oriental Heavyweight. If necessary, the wise decision of Brad Vocal, Robert Bird, and Pinit Prayadsab, judges of the contest, was expected. As a referee, Bruce McTavish would be designated this time. Confirming that there was no other New Zealander like him in the ring, Tua managed to knock Cameron down twice during the first round. After his opponent's second fall, he connected a disrespectful left hook to his ribcage and a straight right to the head while Cameron was still lying on the canvas.
And he got him again! Shane's ready to go! And he's down! Shane's in a heap of trouble! He won't be able to recover from this! He's trying to get out time in the world! David catches him! It's going to be a first-round knockout! Down he goes again!
Entering directly into controversy, McTavish perceived the whole event as a knockdown, which Cameron managed to overcome the safety count, entering a timeout near the end of the episode requested by the referee. Far from disqualifying Tua for the brutality of his attack, already unnecessary, the bell resumed the round, allowing it to end normally. For the second round, only 20 seconds would be enough, in which a Tua offensive full of head hooks could be appreciated, for McTavish to re-enter the scene and stop the fight.
He's not going to last this round. David's on. He's pummeling. The referee.
It was more than evident that Cameron had been rendered defenseless when he collapsed on the canvas. He had been knocked out. Fortunately for him, this time he was far from Tua's ruthless attacks. The battle, originally scheduled for 12 rounds, was reduced to just 1 and 20 seconds. For many, the shock of seeing Tua attack his opponent while he was on the ground meant an event of pure sadism. For those who had already followed his career, it was an exquisite display of his power. And if you think you've seen the best of David Tua, we're proud to tell you that you're wrong. On March 15, 1996, at the Atlantic City Convention Center in New Jersey, David Tua would achieve a knockout that would leave even Mike Tyson himself in awe. This time, his victim would be John Ruiz. Ruiz, an American who remained active in the sport from 1992 to 2010, retired with a modest professional record of 44 victories, achieving 30 of them by knockout, 1 draw, and 9 losses, only 2 of which were by knockout. The first of them caused by the severe fists of the beast, David Tua. Ruiz had already tasted the bitter taste of defeat a couple of times against Daniel Nicholson in 1994 and Sergey Kobzev in 1993. But on both occasions, he had lost at the end of the scheduled rounds by split decision, leaving Tua as the one responsible for showing him what it really meant to be knocked out in the ring. Harold Lorenz, Jack Woodruff, and Barbara Perez would be summoned as judges of the contest but would end up witnessing a human carnage. Tony Perez, the referee, would have a privileged view of Tua's explosive fury that night. Tua's offensive would unleash a display of pure strength, resulting in a resounding combination of brutal hooks, knocking Ruiz down just 19 seconds into the first round.
25. We'll see how he uses it. Tua with a big left hook and Ruiz in trouble. Comes right at him. Another big bomb and Ruiz is down. This could almost be over.
Lying beyond the rope's marked limit, Ruiz was almost expelled from the ring. It seemed like he had taken some kind of sleeping pill directly from Tua's fists without even needing a sip of water to wash away the bitter taste. Tua's knockout of Ruiz was considered for the knockout of the year due to the brutality that exposed that David's punch was not something to be taken lightly. His power was raw and natural, a reflection of his innate ability to end fights quickly and decisively. In hindsight, it is considered one of the fastest and most explosive victories in boxing history. David Tua's career in the sport spanned just over 20 years, accumulating a total of 52 victories, with 43 of them by knockout. He had 2 draws and was defeated in 5 matches. However, none of his opponents can claim to have knocked out the lethal fighter. If you've made it this far, we thank you and remind you that if you liked the countdown, there's no better way to support us than by giving us a like and subscribing to our channel, activating the notification bell. Do you know of any other impressive knockout by David Tua? Share it with the community in the comments section.